Hello, welcome back to Hidden Gems. My name is Arden Thomas. I'm the Cincom Smalltalk product manager. Hidden Gems is where we show you capabilities of the product that you may not be aware of, but we think you would benefit from. Or you may be aware of them and kind of a reminder of what you can do with them. So today's screencast is about handling your Smalltalk windows, and we show you how to use that capability to make a productivity tool. As always, any questions, comments, suggestions, please send those to myself, Arden Thomas, athomas@cincom.com. So a quick what, why, how. We're going to show you Cincom Smalltalk window handling. Why? Well, you can make a tool or have your application rearrange its windows. Why? Well, it can be for organization or productivity. And how? Well, we're going to show you how. So first, we're going to show you how to programmatically access your Smalltalk windows. So let me bring over a workspace here. There's a class called Scheduled Window, and if you say Scheduled Windows and inspect that, you will get the windows that you have open in your Smalltalk image. Now you might want to get a specific set of windows. The next thing, well, how do you get a specific group of windows? So here we want to get all our browser windows. And so we want to get the window where its model is a kind of browser application model. So this will get this class and any subclasses. So this is a nice technique to get things that are similar. So let me do that and let's inspect it. And it shows us that we have three scheduled windows, three browser windows open in this image. Okay. Next, how do you access your screen? Well, there's a class called Screen. You can get the screen default, and if I look at, for example, bounds, now here's the tricky part. I actually have a 2-monitor setup. So basically, and right now I have both of them set to HD, which is 1920 by 1080. So mine's double width because I've got a large virtual screen. You may need to take that into account and program for it accordingly. So let's go. That accesses your screen. Now what about placing a window? We want to place a window in a particular place. Well, let's get all our browser windows. Let me inspect that. We have our browser windows. Let me get the first one and move it to this point. Browser windows first, move to, let's do that. And it moved it right there. Okay, but notice it's still in the background. So how can we fix that? I'm going to put the cursor at the end here and then do it. It will execute this. Browser windows first, raise. That will bring it to the front. And it does that right there. So that shows us how to place a window and bring it to the front. How can we rearrange windows? Well, we can simply write code that basically does this, but in a more programmatic fashion. So what I've done, if you followed my screencasts in the past, you know that I have a framework called Domain Master, which helps you do a lot of common things. So one of the things I wrote for Domain Master was something called Cascade browsers. So let's take a look at that. Here is my Domain Master. Let me make this larger. And I have Cascade browsers. So first I get browser windows. Well, that's basically the code that we just showed. However, I do sort them by label. So you have your in ascending alphabetical order. You have your windows, so you can hopefully find them more easily. And then Cascade colon. So let's go to Cascade colon right here. I get a start point. Now, remember the size of your screen and how many screens you have and where you want to place them. So I have a starting point. Right here I'm calling it 700 at 30. Then I get my screen height. I get the windows that were passed in. I move them to the start point. I raise the window. I see if I'm below if the last one is below the bottom, well then I want to move where I'm beginning to cascade them from. Otherwise, I want to add this point to the start point, 50 at 50, so I'm cascading them. And if in fact I run that, let's make that like that. Say Cascade browsers, and it cascades my browsers. Let's add a couple browsers. 1, 2, 3, and let's try that again. Cascade browsers, boom. Okay, so there I have them in this order. If some of your browsers are very large in size, there are some other things that you can do. I have Cascade preferred size, which is a variation of this. Let me fix one of the things I've done for the window of this screencast, the window sizes that I'm using. And what I do is I get the window, I say window model builder, window spec bounds extent. What that does is give me the extent of the initial window size when that window opens up. So if you have a window that's, let's say we make a window that's really large and it'll kind of mess up your cascading, you can make it preferred size so it will move it back to a preferred size in your cascade. Okay. What are some other things you can do? Well, I wrote this domain master grid browsers. Let's do that right there now. How does that work? Well, self-grid, grid browsers, self-grid, browser windows, and then grid looks like this, where it basically figures out everything and moves it depending on how many rows you need, depending on how many windows you have, and then placing them across. So presumably if I had 2 more, they would be placed right here. Finally, domain master close browsers. Let's just take a look at what that close browsers gets them, and says self close. Let's look at the close. Close simply sends the message close to each window, and let's see what happens there. Boom, they're all gone. So what we've done is show you how to programmatically access the windows, filter out a specific group of windows, how to access your screen and get the bounds and the size to assist in this, how to place a window with a preferred size, how to rearrange your windows by cascading them or gridding them. We also added closing your windows. I've also added, and I'm going to go into this more in a separate screencast, I added an icon so I can do this all the time. Notice it says, I hover over, it says Browser Cascade. So I can have that functionality rather than accessing it in a workspace right here or typing it in anywhere else. I can have it right in my launcher. Until next time, have a great time with Cincom Smalltalk. Thank you.